People say betrayal hurts, but they never talk about the rage that follows. This is the story of how my husband's secret life, a life built on lust, lies, and humiliation, pushed me to the darkest, most calculated revenge I've ever taken. And trust me, he never saw it coming. My name is Alyssa Turner, and I've lived in Charlotte, North Carolina almost all my life. If you had asked anyone about me a year ago, they would have said I lived the perfect American romance, married young, built a business with my husband, bought a house with a porch swing, and had that picture-perfect Instagram lifestyle that everyone envies but few truly have. From the outside, my life did look perfect. But from the inside, I was slowly suffocating without even realizing it. I met Ethan Parker when I was 23. He was charming in that effortless, dangerous way, like the kind of man your mother warns you about, but your heart runs toward anyway. He knew how to talk, how to look at you, how to make you feel like the only person on earth. And when he wanted to be, he could be intoxicating. We had a spark that felt electric, late-night car rides, rooftop kisses, stolen moments that felt cinematic. He touched me like he was memorizing me, and he spoke like he was building dreams just for us. It was the kind of intimacy that blinds you, the kind of lust that convinces you it's love, the kind of connection that makes you ignore red flags even when they're screaming in your face. So when he proposed, I didn't hesitate. I jumped. Blissfully. Stupidly. Blindly. We married in a small vineyard outside Asheville. Candlelit tables, soft jazz, and the kind of warmth that made every guest sigh. This is real love. If only they knew. Marriage changes people. Sometimes for the better. Sometimes for the worst. For Ethan, it awakened a darker side of him. Secretive, distant, unpredictable. The late-night phone calls started first. Then the sudden business trips. Then the coldness in our bed. He still kissed me. Still touched me. Still said all the right things. But something was wrong. Terribly wrong. My instincts whispered. My heart resisted. But one night, my suspicion overpowered my denial. It was a Saturday, 9:47 p.m. I remember the exact time because it was the moment my world fractured. Ethan stepped out of the shower, humming a song I had never heard him sing. He looked different, a glow in his eyes like someone who was living a secret and enjoying every second of it. Then his phone buzzed. He froze, just for a millisecond, but enough for my entire body to sense it. I wasn't snooping. I wasn't suspicious at that moment. But when he left the room to grab something from the car, his phone lit up again. This time with a message preview. Last night was unforgettable. Same time next week? Red heart. Fire. My heart didn't stop. It didn't shatter. It burned. Burned with something I had never felt before. Not pain. Not heartbreak. Rage. Pure. Sharp. Terrifying rage. Most people think heartbreak is quiet. Mine was not. Mine was loud, explosive, consuming. I confronted him the moment he walked back inside. And he didn't even try to deny it. Didn't fight. Didn't apologize. He just stared at me with this cold, emotionless expression. And that hurt more than the cheating itself. His exact words? Alyssa, we grew apart. Just happened. It's not a big deal. Not a big one. Deal. The man who once said I was the love of his life now treated me like a boring obligation. Like a chore he didn't feel like maintaining anymore. The intimacy we once had, fiery, passionate, intoxicating, was now being shared with someone else. Someone who made him glow. Someone who made him sing in the shower. I cried that night. But only once. Because crying wasn't going to fix this. And it sure as hell wasn't going to heal me. No. This wasn't a wound that needed bandages. This was a betrayal that needed revenge. I didn't sleep that night. Not because of the pain but because of the storm building inside me. You don't understand your own strength until someone tears you apart so brutally that you have no choice but to rebuild yourself piece by piece. When I looked at myself in the mirror at 3 a.m., I didn't see a broken woman. I didn't see a victim. I saw someone who had given everything: loyalty, devotion, intimacy, trust, to a man who treated those gifts like scraps. And the more I stared at that reflection, the clearer a terrifying truth became. I wasn't angry because he cheated. I was angry because I allowed him to believe I would never leave, never fight, never rise. I sat on the cold bathroom floor replaying every moment. The way he kissed me without looking into my eyes, the way he pulled away early in bed lately, the way he guarded his phone like it contained nuclear codes. All the signs were there. I ignored every one of them. Not because I was weak, but because I believed love meant patience, forgiveness, endurance. But what about love for yourself? What about loyalty to your own heart? Why didn't anybody teach us that? The more I reflected, the more a frightening calmness washed over me. Not sadness. Not rage. Clarity. A kind of clarity I had never known before. I walked into our bedroom and looked at Ethan sleeping. Peaceful. Comfortable. Rested. Like a man who didn't have a care in the world. And that hurt more than the cheating itself. He slept so easily while I sat awake drowning in betrayal. He rested so deeply while I questioned my entire worth. He breathed so freely while my chest felt like it was caving in. At that moment a new fire sparked inside me, a fire that whispered, "He does not get to destroy you and walk away unscarred." I didn't want revenge right away. Not the dramatic kind people imagine in movies. What I wanted first was understanding. Why her? Why risk our marriage? Why destroy the life we built together? But when the answers didn't come, another realization followed. Sometimes closure isn't given. Sometimes closure is created. So I made myself a promise, not out of spite, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. I would make him feel everything he made me feel. Slowly, deeply, completely. Not by screaming, not by begging, not by losing control, but by taking control. Control of the truth. Control of the narrative. Control of the parts of our life he took for granted. That night, sitting alone in the quietest darkness, I didn't crumble. I transformed. And the woman who stood up from that bathroom floor was not the same woman who walked into that room earlier. She was sharper, colder, smarter, and ready, finally ready, to make him face a reckoning he would never forget. I didn't throw him out. I didn't scream. I didn't expose him. Not yet. Because revenge, real revenge, isn't loud. Strategic, calculated, and timed to perfection. I spent 2 months pretending everything was normal. I kissed him goodnight, cooked dinner, smiled when his parents visited. And every night, I planned. See, Ethan and I co-owned a small business, a marketing agency we built from nothing. Legally, I had more shares than him, something he had forgotten but I hadn't. Financially, nearly everything was in my name because he had credit issues when we married. Emotionally, he underestimated me. And that became my greatest weapon. While he was busy sneaking around with his secret lover, I was preparing the ultimate betrayal. I hired a private investigator. I gathered evidence, photos, timestamps, hotel bills. Built a case so watertight not even a drop of innocence could escape. Then, I waited. Waited for the perfect moment. His birthday. Because if he wanted to play dirty, I would play colder. We hosted a big dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking Charlotte's skyline. Family, friends, business partners. Everyone who believed Ethan was the charming golden boy of our marriage. He stood at the center, smiling, soaking in attention. I let him enjoy his moment. Then I tapped my glass. "Everyone," I began. "Before we cut the cake, I have a surprise." The lights dimmed. The projector lit up. And the first photo appeared. Ethan, entering a hotel room, holding another woman's waist. Gasps filled the room. Slide after slide revealed every detail. Every lie. Every betrayal. His mother cried. His father looked ready to faint. His business partners stared in disgust. And Ethan? He went pale. Then red. Then pale again. He whispered, "Alyssa, please. Not here." I leaned close enough for only him to hear. "You should have thought of that last night in room 407. The room exploded in whispers. He tried to speak, but I wasn't done. I pulled out a folder and placed it in front of him. Divorce papers. Business transfer documents. Account closures. Every consequence he deserved. "In case you're wondering," I announced to the room, "I now own the company entirely." Ethan forfeited his share due to breach of contract. Another gasp. More whispers. And as for this marriage, I lifted the divorce papers. Tonight, I'm ending it the same way he began cheating. Publicly. The applause was small at first, then louder. then overwhelming. Ethan stormed out. But I wasn't chasing him. Not anymore. You'd think I felt empty afterward. But I didn't. I felt alive. For the first time in years. I was free. Free from manipulation. Free from lies. Free from being the good wife who tolerated the unforgivable. I rebuilt my life piece by piece. New apartment. New routines. New confidence. Men noticed me again. They admired me again. I felt desirable, powerful, whole. Not because of anyone else, but because I finally reclaimed myself. As weeks passed, I heard whispers about Ethan. He lost clients. Lost friends. Lost everything he took for granted. And me? I thrived. My business flourished. My name gained respect. My story spread like wildfire across Charlotte. But revenge isn't about ruining someone else. It's about rebuilding yourself so beautifully that their memory no longer has power. Months later, Ethan tried contacting me. He showed up at my office. He apologized, begged, cried. A kind of broken sob I had never seen from him. Alyssa, please. I made a mistake. I can't live without you. I looked at him, really looked at him, and I felt nothing. No love, no hate, no warmth, no pain, just closure. Ethan, I whispered, you didn't break me. You freed me. He reached for my hand. I stepped back. That woman you replaced me with? I added. She can have your half love, your half truths, your half life. I want everything. And I'll get it. And I did. As he walked away, defeated, hollow, alone, I realized something powerful. Revenge isn't the ending of a story. It's the beginning of a new one. So, to every person listening, every heart that's been betrayed, every woman or man who has cried in silence, hear me when I say this. You are stronger than the person who hurt you, smarter than the lies they told, and more powerful than the pain they caused. Revenge doesn't always mean destruction. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is becoming someone they can never hurt again. My name is Alyssa, and this was my story. A story of love, betrayal, intimacy, lust, pain, and the unforgettable revenge that transformed my life forever. Thank you for listening to my story. If this touched your heart, if it made you feel stronger, if it reminded you of your own worth, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps stories like this reach more people. Help us grow and reach 5,000 subscribers. We're so close, and every click matters. This is Revenge Uncut, your home for real, raw, unforgettable stories. Visit our channel every day for new true stories that will shake you to the core.